Hello everyone, now let us discuss about cavities of body. Body cavities are spaces that enclose the internal organs and bones, muscles, ligaments and other structures that separate various body cavities from one another. Here you can see the schematic representation of various body cavities. The first one is cranial cavity, the next is vertebral canal, next is thoracic cavity, the next is abdominopelvic cavity. The abdominopelvic cavity is again divided into abdominal cavity and pelvic cavity. First of all, coming to cranial cavity, it is formed by cranial bones and contains brain. The next is vertebral canal. It is formed by vertebral column and contains spinal cord and the beginning of spinal nerves. The next is thoracic cavity. The thoracic cavity or chest cavity, it contains pleural and pericardial cavities and the mediastinum. The thoracic cavity is again divided into pleural cavity, pericardial cavity and mediastinum. Pleural cavity is the potential space between the layers of the pleura that surround the lung. The next is pericardial cavity. As the name indicates, it is the potential space between the layers of the pericardium that surround the heart. The next is mediastinum. It is the central portion. Mediastinum is the central portion of the thoracic cavity between the lungs. It extends from sternum to vertebral column and from first rib to diaphragm. This is the diaphragm. From first rib to diaphragm contains, the mediastinum contains heart, thymus, esophagus, trachea and several large blood vessels. What does mediastinum contain? It contains heart, thymus, esophagus, trachea and several large blood vessels. The next is abdominopelvic cavity. It is subdivided into abdominal and pelvic cavities. The abdominal cavity contains stomach, spleen, liver, gallbladder, small intestine and most of the large intestine. The serous membrane of the abdominal cavity is called the peritoneum. The serous membrane of the abdominal cavity is peritoneum. The next is pelvic cavity. The pelvic cavity contains urinary bladder, portions of large intestine and internal organs of reproduction. These are the various cavities and the organs that are enclosed in those cavities. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for further videos on medical coding and CPC training.